Hey look, Harold Perrineau's in the credits. It probably doesn't mean anything. I'm not going to spend much time on the off-island story because really there's not that much to it. Sun goes into labor and has a daughter named Yeon while Jin is running around trying to get a toy for the baby. And the big twist is that while the Sun scenes are a flash forward like they appeared, the Jin scenes are a flash back to an assignment for her father. And then Hurley takes Sun to Jin's grave. I have 3 problems with this. 1, this setup renders all the Jin scenes another pointless waste of screen time that they couldn't afford for no more reason than a cheap twist at the end. 2, it's hard to buy into the Jin scenes appearing to be flash forward since we've already seen 5 of the Oceanic 6 and Sun is referred to as one of them. And 3, you can't buy for a second that Jin is actually dead because it wouldn't be revealed like this unless they were doing some kind of purloined letter thing, where the thing that seems too obvious to be true actually is true, becoming a kind of twist in itself. And by this point, I really doubted these writers were clever enough to pull that off. Usually Jin and Sun are a bright light in the crap around them, but this one is a real disappointment. Frank meets Regina, the woman who took over for Minkowski, who's reading a book upside down. Wackiness! She's guarding Saeed and Desmond, who are being held more securely after breaking into the radio room.
Did you have any contact with our people on the beach?
No luck, something must have happened to their phone.
Actually, that would be your phone something happened to. Hey, I'll stop bringing it up when they stop making me think about it. Sun is getting a little antsy waiting for Saeed and Desmond to come back, but first Jack and Kate come back.
Juliet told Jack that it was a power station.
Why would Juliet lie about that?
Force a habit?
We're the good guys, Michael.
Of course, the real reason she lied was so this story could happen, because it's just as contrived as the last episode, though at least this time it doesn't take over the whole story.
Why were they going there?
Turn it off. Deactivate the gas. I guess they wanted to earn some brownie points.
Like I said last time, we're now right back to being told the people from the boat are the bad guys, and this is the sole attempt to have that make any sense after what we saw. Saeed and Desmond get a note from Ben's spy telling them not to trust the boat's captain, and Sun asks Daniel if the boat is there to rescue them, and he's rather pointlessly vague about it because the beach story in this episode is that Sun is getting suspicious of everyone until she wants to go join Locke's group, and the only way to do that is for no one to act at all trustworthy like we already saw with Juliet, giving her an excuse to not believe that she'll die unless she leaves the island. So just more forced writing for a story that will end up not having much impact on anything. And what's really strange is that we've already seen in the flash forward that she gets off the island, so there's no tension about what will happen. Kate shows Sun how to get to the village and says she'll give them a head start before telling Jack.
I tell him myself, but he wouldn't understand.
No, he wouldn't.
As loath as I am to say this, I'm with Jack on this one. Why is this happening? How were they so hard up for stuff to fill their remaining screen time when there was so much stuff left to explain? Juliet takes one last stab at stopping this madness, but when Jin refuses to listen, she pulls out her last resort and reveals to Jin that Sun was cheating on him. There was a whole thing before about how good his English is now, so this scene can work. Jin goes fishing with Bernard, and remember how in SOS the script kept tying itself in knots to avoid naming the disease Rose had like it was going to be some huge reveal later? Well,
Rose has cancer.
I give you the latest foot massage reveal. What the hell was the point if you were just going to be this casual about it later? This leads into talking about how Bernard is confused about why she didn't go with Locke since she wants to stay, and oh my god, you don't have to leave when everyone else does! It's such a simple solution! How do you not get this?
It's all about karma, Jim. You know karma? You make bad choices, bad things happen to you. Or you make good choices, and then good...
Yeah, that's not what karma is. Karma means that anything good you do in this life means something good will happen to you when you're reincarnated in your next life, and same with the bad stuff. The other one is a common misconception held by all truly stupid people. On the boat, someone is banging on the pipes, but enough of that, because Saeed and Desmond are let out to see the captain. They see that Frank is currently on his way back to the island with Kimi, and then Regina jumps off the boat and kills herself. Oh, and we knew her so well. That's the cue for us to meet the captain, Galt, who tries out something that's crazy but just might work, explaining things. He says that being so close to the island is driving some people nuts, and Ben's spy has already screwed up the engines so they can't move. He's also open about Widmore owning the boat, and that he's here to get Ben, having been told he staged the wreckage of 815 that we've heard so much about. Juliet makes her case to Sun again about why she should leave, and this time Sun believes her, because the script says so.
So what'd you think of the captain?
He was surprisingly forthcoming.
Even the people in the show realize how rare it is for someone to act like any normal person would. Ray introduces them to the ship's janitor, and such a big deal is made about this seemingly innocuous event that it's immediately obvious what's about to happen. Yes, here is Ben Spy on the boat, Michael, which might have had a chance of being surprising if Harold Perrineau hadn't been back in the opening credits since the season started. Not that this was a very well-kept secret anyway, but did they really think so little of us to assume that no one would figure this out after getting 7 chances to spot the name? Jin tells Sun he forgives her, and he understands exactly how the kind of guy he used to be could drive her into having an affair, which leads to her saying she now wants to get off the island again, and she tells him the baby is really his. It's another great scene between these two, and it's really a lot better than the episode deserves. My score for Ji Yeon is 5 out of 10. Jin and Sun are great as always, but this time everything around them is a real letdown. Jin finding out about Sun's affair should have been one of the biggest moments between them, but we have to sit through so many leaps of logic to get him to find out that by the time it comes it's really hard to care. At least the stuff on the boat is pretty decent.